Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the stock market show. KULR Technology here. I did dump the shares that I was holding, the $500 worth that I bought. So small loss, whatever, no big deal. Yeah. So the story of this stock is it doesn't really do much of anything. Number two, I just went from A to number two, not A to B for some reason. A doesn't really move. Number two, MACD cross underway. Number three, or should I say C? I think the fact that this, what's the word I'm trying to look for? What's the word I'm trying to find here? The fact that the market pumps and this thing just goes nowhere, and the fact that the market dumps and this thing does a good job of following the markets in that case, that's funny to me. Isn't that funny when you really think about it? When the market is pumping, specifically when you look at other stocks within the same sector, AI, you see them moving and this one just sits around doing nothing. And then when the market starts falling, KULR starts falling too. So that's KULR stock only. That's interesting. Have I ever seen this before? I don't think I've ever seen this before. But KULR stock only moves with the market when everything is coming down. But it doesn't follow the market on the way up. That's what's interesting. Which is, I think that's a bad sign when you think about it. Like, wait, yeah, that makes sense. It only follows the market when everything's dumping. But not the other way around. So I'm done with this one. KULR, rest in peace. I think this is gonna break below $1. It's gonna take time, but I think it's gonna break below $1. I don't see this holding, quite frankly. Let me look at the weekly. I think I see a pattern here, maybe. Yeah, this looks like a descending wedge, and this is why I bought the starter position, because I was like, I'm not gonna go in big or anything. So yeah. So descending wedge just means we break down. That's what that means. There's just not enough buying pressure to keep us afloat here above $1, and then we just break down and go lower. Funny enough, the weekly time frame shows the weekly time frame 200 WMA is at 97 cents, but we would expect it to break down below. Yeah, we would expect it to break below that. This was looking good, like a nice green candle, right? But now it's, yeah. So 11 days into the month, 11 days into June, just to inevitably break down probably the rest of this month. So it's looking bearish here, and I wouldn't give it a buy. This is why I made that video, that whiteboard lesson video, telling you, like, hey, this is why it's important to have starter positions. Because you never know when someone might strike, launch some bombs or something. And then the market as a whole reacts by falling. But I think the most interesting thing is that it only follows the market when it goes down. But it doesn't follow the market on the way back up. And if it does, it's just such a small move. It doesn't go anywhere. It's kind of hasn't done anything since when? Since March 4th, we've just been in the same range, and it's looking like it's going to break down. So that's what I'm seeing here. So very important to always add your starter positions. Never, ever go all in on the first, on your first buy. A lot of people make that mistake. So you should check out that whiteboard lesson video if you didn't watch it. But yeah, bearish. I had to turn bearish here. It was looking good. It's sad because it was looking good like the first, third of this month. And I was like, hey, if we close on a strong green candle, this is looking good. But, yeah. I think the biggest problem here is that it only follows the market when it goes down. So that's something to, like, take note of. Like, keep that in the back of your head. Other than that, if it does break down, what are the next levels? The next big level would be 80 cents. Yeah, 80 cents. 79 to 84. Yep. 79 to 84 would be your next big level on the weekly. So let's just mark that. Man, when I said it was going to come down to some people's average down here, I was kind of like not expecting it. I was like, I know we were going to come down that low, right? but turns out we might. So yeah, look for around 80 cents. I think 90 cents will act as support temporarily before going lower. This thing has a history of slowly bleeding out. If we look at the past, wow, it almost looks, look at that. Huge pump, and then it just slowly just bleeds out, right? Kind of looks similar, doesn't it? Look at that. It's so similar. Right? Let's zoom out a little bit, and let's just compare. So huge pump, comes down, goes sideways, and tanks. Goes down, sideways, and tanks. Goes sideways, and slowly just bleeds out lower and lower. Slowly bleeds out lower and lower is where we would expect. Because history tends to repeat. So there you go. That is, I mean, it always happens, right? Huge pump, and it just slowly bleeds down. If that's going to do what it's always done, then yeah, we would expect this to come down lower. That's all I'm going to say with regards to KULR stock. The pattern is there. I just showed it to you. Probably the most what made me bearish now is the fact that it only wants to follow the market when everything's going down, but not on the way up. On the way up, it does not want to follow the market, and that just sucks. Like I'll just go trade something else at that point. That's really what it's turning into. I do wonder. Yeah, because let me just check something. There's BBAI. BBAI doesn't. I think it does the same thing. It doesn't move. See, the funny thing about BBAI is it actually did move. It moved from 236 to 4.6. So it actually moved almost 100%. But it's going sideways and holding above the 200, whereas, and I think this one already got its weekly crossover. Yeah, it did. So yeah, this actually, and the thing is, BBAI actually does follow the market, whereas KULR doesn't really do much. Because I know because KULR, BBAI they both move sideways. Like they both move sideways after a huge pump, but the difference is BBAI actually holds its sideways action. KULR has a history of just bleeding out. So, I mean, look at this. That's not what you want to happen. Let me look at BBAI just for comparison. So you see the difference here? BBAI here, huge pump, and then it bleeds out, but then it just goes sideways, right? Then huge pump, goes sideways again, huge pump, and rinse and repeat. Whereas KULR has a history of just it just bleeds, right? It just keeps going lower, has some pumps along the way. As it goes lower, it has pumps along the way, yes, but it just goes lower. It doesn't hold sideways action until like it really drops down real cheap. Like this had to drop down to the 10 cents into the 10 to, yeah, it had to drop to like the 25-cent area to finally bottom out. Let me put it that way. So yeah, take that as you will.